Phillipsburg Town Council meeting, August 2nd, 2023. This is a discussion of Resolution 2023-146. BridgePoint 78 was required to send the town $300,000 upon completion of their last building as part of an amended pilot agreement. The $300,000 was intended to be used for fixing and maintaining public parks and providing funds towards the senior center. Resolution 2023-146 will allow BridgePoint 78 to bypass sending the $300,000 to the town and allow BridgePoint 78 to send the $300,000 directly to the Cal Ripken Foundation. The Cal Ripken Foundation is proposing to build a multi-use turf field at Walters Park with a cost of $2 million. One of the issues you will hear discussed is that the proponents of the Cal Ripken initiative have stated that all funds will come from private donations and not taxpayer money. In this video, you will hear Councilman Clark explain that because Resolution 2023-146 is allowing BridgePoint 78 to shift their required pilot payment from going directly to the Town of Phillipsburg and now going directly to the Cal Ripken Foundation as a contribution to a nonprofit organization, that this is a private donation and not taxpayer money. You will hear Councilmen Marino and Piazza disagree with his reasoning. And now the video.
Okay, is there anybody that would like to remove anything from the consent agenda?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to pull R 2023-146, please.
140?
146.
146. Okay. Anything else? Okay, could I get a motion on the rest of the consent agenda, excluding 146?
So moved. Second?
Okay, could I get a roll call?
Councilman Piazza?
Yes.
Councilman Marino?
Yes.
Councilman Kennedy?
Yes.
Council Vice President Clark?
Yes.
Council President Wyatt?
Yes. Okay, now we'll address 2023-146. Councilman?
Thank you, Council President. I support this wholeheartedly. Anything that takes the kids off the street, keeps them organized, active, I'm for. But there's always a but in life. At that meeting, the two representatives who I know well, very outstanding gentlemen in the area, great people, they stated it would not take any tax dollars from the town of Phillipsburg and that they would raise the money, and I'm quite confident, sure, with their abilities, their knowledge, their skills, they could raise that money. And if I read this resolution right, a previous council had earmarked that for the play areas, the playground areas in the town of Phillipsburg. And you ride around the town and you do see Delaware Heights, North Main Street, Brainerd Street. They're in dire need to be redone for the safety of kids who live in that area, the weeds, broken glass at the one on Brainerd Street, and debris. Like I said, I'm for it, but they had stated in a public meeting that they would raise those funds. And in my opinion, now this is my understanding, they're a private committee, great people, but they never utilized our recreation and our open space committees. So the way I view it, since they kept out our volunteers on these committees, and it's a private committee that we really don't get a minutes of their meetings or know what's going on, I just can't support that part of it because they had said they would do without public monies. And I feel it should go, in my interpretation, to those other areas. So I'll be voting no on that. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you.
Council President, if I may.
Go ahead.
I would just like to offer my input on this statement. I understand my colleagues' concerns, and I want to just state for the record that we have kept our word on it. This is not taxpayer money. This is part of a pilot agreement with the developer here, who has agreed to donate $300,000 of that money to recreation. They've chosen to send the $300,000 to this initiative that the town is working with private citizens to work on. So this is not taxpayer money. This is part of a pilot program that is in an agreement that was already going to use $300,000 for recreation. I also want to just put on the record that this administration, Mayor Sidney's administration, has been working to remediate and upkeep many of the parks around here. I've seen it myself. So our commitment to recreation still stands. And as far as this private committee or this private meetings, these are private residents, volunteers, local volunteers that decided to get together. They invited the town onto this committee. Me, because I'm the liaison for open space, Councilman Kennedy, because he's the liaison for recreation, and then the mayor, because he is the CEO of the town. So it's logical for us to be on that. Nothing's secret, everything's shared, and I make it a point to share as much as we can as well. We work very hard to bring in over $1 million through private donations. And like I said, this is not taxpayer money. So I will be supporting this. And if anyone tries to say that this is a bad idea, I don't know how it can be a bad idea for our kids. So I agree with my colleague that this is great for the kids. It keeps them busy. It answers the call that we are working for our children and for the youth of this town. So that's where I stand on this, and I will be supporting this and the volunteers that are working without pay to do this and get this done. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd like to chime in after hearing from the two councilmen. So it is a payment in lieu of taxes. So any property that we would collect taxes on, that goes back to the taxpayers benefit from in the town of Phillipsburg. We agreed to waive those taxes for a set payment. So instead of taxes, the community and the town still receives money. It's still the town's money. It wouldn't be on this agenda if it wasn't ours. And we represent the town and the residents. So after hearing both, I tend to agree maybe we should spread it out a little bit. So the pool took 3.5 years to get done, and nobody seems to have too big of an issue with that. I don't see the rush here. They seem to be earning or collecting money for this project at a pretty good rate. We have a lot of other needs in the town. I don't see why you can't maybe do the bathrooms over at Walters Park. Does the baseball field include the bathrooms? So the bathrooms are really old, and they look like they've been welded together, like the fixtures and everything, and rehab. They're tremendously old. They're falling apart. They don't work. I think maybe that $300,000 could go towards a locker room at the pool, bathrooms to complement this, which we're going to have to put in anyway. There's also plenty of parks that are older. The Mercer Street Park is atrocious. The North End Park's terrible. We also have senior recreation that I'd like to see get funded more. The senior center does a great job, and they do a great job with $30,000. I'd like to see what they do with $100,000. With places like the bowling alley and stuff going out, I think it's up to us. That's no one's fault here, but I think we can maybe spread this money out over the town a little bit more. A multi-use field is great. It's a great project. It'll bring lots of events, but only one sport can be played. Multi-sports can be played at different times, but you can't play lacrosse and baseball at the same time. So just for that one set time frame, it's going to be amazing, but somebody pushing their kid to the park can't enjoy that. A retiree looking to have fun, with their friends can't always enjoy that. So maybe they can show up and watch, I don't know. But after rethinking it, I think I would be more comfortable spreading this amount that was given to the town and is the taxpayers' money in lieu of a tax payment over the entire town except for one, instead of one project.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Piazza.
No.
Councilman Marino.
No.
Councilman Kennedy.
Yes.
Council Vice President Clark.
Indefinite yes.
Council President Wyatt.
Yes.